the mess comes for the message.
Okay, so welcome back from the break, and that was Bright's music with his latest joint. That is Yahweh. This is Entertainment Review right on Metro Television. My name is Desifadian the Starboy, here with Nanaya Tano Abuache and Helen K. We've got a big conversation coming up on the show this afternoon. We're talking about the evolution of the Ghanaian gospel music sound. We want to understand how far we have come from when we started gospel music back in the days. And of course, one gentleman who's he's not a stranger to this table of life of ours, Ninoy. He was supposed to be here last week, but yeah, it happens. And this week he's here. Ninoy, good afternoon, welcome.
Good afternoon, thanks for
Yes, and the gentleman.
you call it table of life?
Yeah, table of life.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, everything is. And Bright's music, his song, we played that before I came in. Bright's music, he's also a gospel artist. A pretty young one. Bright, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Desmond.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Looking fine.
Thanks.
The gospel artists, we are looking okay. Anyway, and a gentleman that when it comes to music in this country, a lot of people know him. He is a music consultant. He's a music director, plays the keyboard. He's been worked with every top artist that you know in this country and beyond, vocal coach, everything. So he's an embodiment of the Ghanaian gospel industry. Dave J. Loops, he's here also, and he's also into real estate these days. Good afternoon, welcome.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Great. So I was doing a little bit of research, and I was telling my co-host that I found out that the likes of Professor Kofi Abraham, there was a Ahinsan Gospel Group. Then it came up down to the likes of Helena Rabos, Wafa Asmeni, and those kind of artists that we had back in the day. And since then, Tego Sisters, Daughters of Glory Jesus, and it's moved on to the current time that we have people like Bright singing this kind of music. What kind of music state or the genre did you get into, or what was it like when you were growing up, the gospel music industry?
Like you said, it was right from the Hinsan Gospel Group, moving down to the Elena Rabos, Professor Kofi Abraham, Elena Rabos, moving down to Tego Sisters. From the Ahinsan side coming, it was you could hear more high life because the country was more the young Ponsa rhythm. The country was more guided by that high life. So they were singing gospel in the high life rhythm. They're just adding love, compassion, and the love of God, singing about God in the high life rhythm. But however, when they came to the Helena Rabos and co, there was a fusion of some cultures from Nigeria. When you hear Helena Rabos like God in Nahile, that's that kind of song, a fusion of some Nigeria culture. That's when the foreign culture started entering our system, our gospel system. But from that Helena Rabos era down, they did something like what we call worship now, the ballad kind of, slow it down, and they've had that, and that has still been constant even till now. Yeah. And the praises, fast, that's also been constant. But the main line, that's high life, has evolved. It's evolved. Some are doing it Afrobeat, some are doing it this, some are that, but that's evolved. So coming down from the Helena Rabos, Tego Sisters, the contemporary gospel music was influenced by integrity music. If you remember Don Moy, Ron Kinelli, and they used Africa as one of their baits when Ron Kinelli and co came to record albums in South Africa and all of that. They used us as one of their baits. And we got people like Danny Nete, Eric Kwapon, Reverend Tom Bryce Davis, getting influenced by some of these things and impacting to our next generation. That's the Joe Metals, the Kwesi Otins, and co. But to me, I think that what's been more instrumental is that thing that they impacted. There's been evolution and improvement on it. But if you watch from, let's say, from early 2000s till now, I think that contemporary feel, you still feel it now.
Feel that in.
But the most instructive part is when Kwesi Otin won the 2013 Gospel Album of the Year at the VGMA. Sorry, that time it was the MTN Ghana Music Awards. He won with the Mercy Project that had God the Bless.
God the Bless.
But for your mercy, that song, Kabiesi, it was very instructive. And it gave, people like Lou said all of that, it gave them hope. Yes, our kind of music we are created could make some noise. Because remember, when all of this was going on, there was some music concerts in universities, Intellecto.
Oh, yeah.
And they were defining that foreign kind of gospel. So immediately they came out, they met this kind of people.
Okay.
The Jews, the Daninetti, that they met them. So it became like, okay, that's what we've been listening to from uni.
So we found out.
Yes. So we started growing with them. It didn't look like, okay, are we going back to listen to that high life gospel? And interesting enough, as it was growing, people like Empress Gifty, they're changing their sound.
Yeah.
So like Jesus Overdue.
Okay.
If you compare it to 2012, it's not the same. People like Ohima Messi, even if you listen to Otimimu, Asida, it's changed. You understand? So I think that's the new thing we are seeing, and that era has impacted this era. And to me, I think it's a very good thing.
Dave, you've been with the instruments for a very long time. I'm tempted to ask you also which of the sounds I grew up to listening. I was sending them Sunday morning when you're going to church. It's reggae. You hear the gospel reggae throughout before you leave home.
Yeah.
That was the ones that I grew up to Christian Alive and Mama Mini. So the same tempo all through. Was that what? No, I'm not sure that's what you grew
No.
up.
I was very unfortunate. Like my dad's church, there was nothing like drums. There was nothing. It's funny, yeah. So I grew up in an American kind of sound system. Yes.
Okay.
So it's keyboards and the fusion of the American praise music. Yeah. So when I came out to school to do music, I realized that I was lost because it was more like that was when we had more of the reggae sound. Almost all the gospel songs were
reggae.
Yes, it was reggae. And
And I was doing dancehall.
yes. Yes. So I had to understand it. I had to learn to understand. And luckily for me, like he was saying, the integrity part of the whole music, Ron Canoli, we're learning all the chords. Yes, just trying to sound like them. And Intellectu, who played a very good role in making. So for us, we had the opportunity to just come out from school to meet the Joes, the Jeshurons, the Namesis, and all those people who were aligned to that sound already. So it was like, okay, it was a continuation of what we had started with. So that was the sound I was aligned with, yeah.
Okay, so Nana and Helen will be coming in also with their submissions. But Brian, let me bring you in. Obviously, your influence, I guess we all know that it will be the foreign. Is that really the issue?
Yeah, for me, I think I came to meet the Kwesi Oting generation. 2012, that's where my music influence started. So it hasn't, obviously they have more experience in terms of age and then music experience, but then, yeah, so Kwesi Oting actually, I realized that my style of music is very unconventional, if I should put it that way. It wasn't really the norm, what people had experienced or seen over the years. At a point, I was a bit skeptical. Will this thing be accepted by the public domain? Because if you are doing something, you would want that acceptance. I think in my very few years, it's been quite good. It just gives me hope that, like we say, music has evolved, taste of people are changing, and then the message of Christ is also evolving, sort of. So I think basically that's it.
Okay. Helen, you want to come in?
Yeah, so I wanted to find out from him, with his kind of music that he's doing, can we classify it under urban gospel, or is it a new genre on its own?
Urban gospel, I think it's just contemporary music.
Okay.
Urban gospel, for me, I think it's more of the rap, Afrobeats.
Right.
I stand to be corrected though.
Right.
That's what. Yes.
So that's also you are right, but that's also bring us to the point that gospel music on its own doesn't really has a genre. So more or less like switching from different genres to others. Can we say that is what it is really? Gospel music doesn't seem to have a genre on its own because over the years
it has to do with expressions,
Right.
various expressions of whatever thing that the person wants to communicate. With Christ being the center, I don't think we have to be limited in terms of creativity. However you want to express Christ to the world, that's for you, and then your experience with God, and that's what you want to tell the world.
So whatever the
various
rhythm is,
expressions,
whether it's reggae, whether it's high life, so for us, you're sharing the word of God. That
exactly.
is it.
And I keep saying that you are one of the most favored people, especially when it comes to our schemes.
Okay.
Because if you look at the genres we do, like YMA is high life.
Right.
Oh, about like YMA don't be high life. Meditation by that.
I like.
Yeah.
You understand? So, but unfortunately, if you say you're going to put us there, you'll never win.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's why I say we are the most fortunate people, you know, and we will jealously guard that. But you know, it's very important to know that it's good to branch into all these genres to win souls at all the places. So you go to where the people do their thing,
Right.
give them the reggae music. You go to the nightclub, you can give them the hip
life.
hop, the amapiano, you know, the urban gospel music. You go to people who are more contemporary, like you know, loops them. So you give them the contemporary feel. So I think that we are both fortunate. So it's not a genre. I think it's a movement, and we are jealously guarding the movement.
Interesting.
I want to come in with the lyrics, as in writing of songs. I mean, many gospel songs, growing up, I realized were from traditional gospel hymns, where they have the Presby, the Pentecost, so on and so forth. It has evolved. And how has it changed from back then to now? You spoke about YME. It's very relatable. People love to go the traditional way, where they see using the Bible stuff. Now, with the evolution that has taken place, some of the lyrics have been tweaked, have been changed, and it felt as if people can't really relate to it.
To the lyrics.
Exactly. How has that revolution affected the lyrical sense of this whole contemporary gospel or in the gospel space?
I think it came with the change in sound. Maybe loops to share some light. But I think it came with the change in sound. So when you look at the change in sound and how that sound, because if you want to do a song in a piano, you want to deliver it a gospel song, like Scott Evans' best side. You understand? You can't cool it down. You know, it must be punchy.
Yes.
And you must look for lyrics that are punchy.
Hard.
You know, to get it. And when you look at my piano songs, they don't say a lot.
Yeah.
So you need to look for little expressions to
Yeah.
just deliver it. No, so I think that because of the evolution and because of the kind of music that people want to listen now, they've looked for ways to better summarize it.
Yeah.
Let's go to Nigeria. Songs like Nathaniel Bassey. See what the Lord has
Yeah,
done.
true.
What are you waiting? 3 lines.
Jesus, 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 Jesus.
Yes, finish. Even William McDowell, some 10
Yeah.
years ago, wrap me in your arms, like 3-4 lines. Finish. You know, and I think that because of that evolution, that change, you know, they are looking for ways to capture the people and capture their audience and get them to understand what they want to say and evangelize at the same time. So it makes the lyrics kind of catchy. It gives a correct summary,
Yeah.
simple, and make you understand and come along.
It reminds me
That's-
of, okay, no,
I'm coming. But with that one, you see, coming from the traditional gospel hymns, it was more of like worship song.
No, Western Dosso.
Aha.
Chapter 1, chapter 2.
So you can use that for fasting, morning devotion.
Yeah.
You'll be singing the song for a long time.
Yeah.
But now it's like straightforward. How are they using that in the worship way?
Like I said, the worship and the praise aspect is still not gone.
Okay.
Just that the main line is what is gone.
Yeah.
But you see, there are worship songs that also are very fully packed.
Yes.
And there are praise songs that are also fully packed. However, right now, we will not get. I'm sure if the John Wesley's, those who were the Methodists, if they were alive today, they will not write chapter 1, chapter 2. They would have written 3 editions of the Methodist hymn. Because now our generation likes short.
Short.
So that I'll come back to the point. So our kind of writers now, you watch the guy's video, Yahweh. They put in a short way. You know, I remember somewhere a year or 2 ago, I did a song of Moses. It took a long time before people understood because Nyamano Dosu.
Yeah.
I remember we had to do episodes to explain the song. The later I told you, no, this you know for doing. So because our kind of people now, quick, let's go. I want to listen. I want to understand. Go. Kadosh.
True.
Is a man of you go. Big people understand, relatable. They can worship with it, and they're attached.
It reminds me, and Dave, this to you. When you go to do rehearsals in the choosing of a song, and if you want to do a local song, you want to touch on Tego Sisters, the lyrics, why there are four stanzas, and the words in there, but people still loved those. The transition into when we incorporated the American style, or let me say the foreign style in there. Now people began thinking we're losing our originality, but it's taken a number of years for people like Kwesi, Otin, Joe Metal to actually get the oldies who are thinking that what they are singing is not spiritual enough. It's not what we know as a gospel music sound.
Yeah, they got a lot of that what they were doing.
So as a music director, as someone who puts music together, tell us about the challenges with that, trying to stick with traditional, like what we know as Ghanaian gospel sound, and trying to be nice with it and creating what we like now that's contemporary also.
Well, I always try to merge the two. Okay, and of course, we should always be influenced by the Bible and always try to let that be the bedrock of our lyrical content. Yes, and the summary is where the problem is, because most of the people want to say something, but they don't have the right way to say it just because of the pressure from, of course, the different genres of music. Music is inspired, and I want to communicate something out to the people. So recently, if you watch, Overflow did a hymn, and I was thinking, how was I going to fuse those lyrics and still add the contemporary to it? It was a challenge. And the first part of the music I put out had the contemporary, and everybody was like, this nice hymn, you have destroyed it. And I was like, just wait and listen to the whole music. So after the whole music came out, there was a measure of everything, and that's where they appreciated it.
Yeah.
I think we shouldn't just go the extreme overboard when we should try to, because we have specific people who want to target our music too, but everybody should be able to appreciate where we are coming from. My grandmother should be able to sit and appreciate and be like, oh yeah, this is, and there are contemporary songs that even oldies appreciate and make a big deal out of it. So I think we should find a way of putting them seamlessly together. Yes, and it would make sense. Yeah.
Okay.
But then, from what you are saying, it seems that Ghanaians find it difficult to accept our new ways of worshiping. So, the likes of Ivan Scott, who are doing urban music, for instance, would do their thing. But then it seems people are even struggling to accept it as gospel music or to accept it as worship and the likes. They think that, we should probably go by what we already know. What's your take on it? What can we really do different?
Well, I think they are accepting it.
You think they are accepting it?
Yes, I think now you go to some of the Orthodox churches and they are singing some of our songs. Yes, and it's going to take time. Everything just doesn't go like this. Everything is changing. The way we talk, the way we do things.
Right.
And so gradually, the acceptance will be very difficult, but they would at least relate to it. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll continue with the conversation. Let's go for a break, and when we come back, we continue. We're talking about the evolution of the Ghanaian gospel sounds. They can stay back shortly. Welcome back. Still watching the 2 minutes review. We're still talking the evolution of Ghanaian gospel music, and you can watch us on Facebook, Metro TV Ghana, and also on DSTV channel 277. How do we maintain what we have now? We've come to understand that people love it. Dave has said that we shouldn't go overboard and be doing the churches, as they say. As they say, we do that in the church. Moving on, how do we maintain this for quite a number of years, as was done back then, so that we don't have, every 2 years, 5 years, the sound changes. The sound changes, and we probably will be losing our identity with that.
I think one thing that you realize among some of our top people is that they're still doing a contemporary feel, but they're adding our local language to it. Unlike some years back, it was pure English. So Some of them will bring English to do the tree.
Bononi.
Yeah, that's like Bononi. You understand? Like Emoji has a song, Nobody. Some new song with Nobody.
Okay.
The end.
Yeah.
There's some tree fusion in there. So I think that's our kind of our elderly people. They had more tree gospel and more related to that. Some didn't even education is not so good, but that part it relates to them. They understand it more. And Ghanaians are large. You know, people love to sing songs in your local dialect than English songs.
Yes.
Oh, it's true. That is why YABA that is a hit. You know, but they were on it.
What do you have against YME?
Oh no, in Ghana that is the biggest.
Because Jesse has predicted that it's going to win. What do you
It's
say?
a strong
Song
contender
of the
for
year.
for gospel song of the year.
It's too early
Oh.
to get a verdict.
No, I said
Right now, it's between two people. It's YME
Uh-huh.
and Iwalelala. Just that YME is
it's
a
now.
little ahead,
Morning.
but there is too early in the year.
But from what you are saying, it
It
even
could.
seems that YMEA is not really cutting.
No,
for
it cuts.
No, it cuts. I said it's ahead.
But
There is ahead.
It cuts.
Yes, but Iwalelala is following closely. Like the election that they said,
Yeah.
you are
But
close.
that's a beautiful music. I really like that music.
No, it's a nice music, but I'm saying that, for instance,
I'm talking
that-
about Hewala.
Iwalelala. Oh, okay, great. I'm saying that if you give our people the tree music, don't forget the international market.
Yes.
Because you see, when you work with artists or you do research on artists' music, a lot of the streaming comes from outside Ghana.
Oh, yeah, I was saying that. the other
Ghana
time,
for
yeah.
still per free download. You understand? So the kind of people that will listen to your music more are, first of all, this is how it starts: the Ghanaians in US, the Ghanaians in UK, the Ghanaians in Germany, the Ghanaians then it goes to their citizens. Then it's going. But if you do a song like Full Tree, like YME, it becomes difficult because if those kind of Ghanaians listen outside Ghana, then maybe it stays there. Yeah. But if you add the little English, like
The
Bononi,
God. There was a
Yeah.
bridge. There was a part that was.
God of Enoch.
Yeah, the God of it.
Which has to be she was here.
He said
Yesterday,
yes, true.
last week,
Oh, yeah.
last week she was here,
Yeah,
and yesterday she was original.
original.
Yeah. So you see Obapa Christ, have you heard the English song? The Glory.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
not
yeah,
the Glory. She has another one, Hosanna.
Yeah. I think
That one is
I've heard
full
snippets
English.
of that.
Yeah.
And I know Anye hates that, but
Yeah.
but
But you mentioned something which is dear to my heart. That's plunging into the international market.
Yeah.
And I don't say YMEA has more of tree, but the video is very solid. Okay. So with that, if it plunges into the international markets, video-wise, it's going to get. But what about the language? It's going to be a problem.
No, but still, people can get in tune with the language. We've listened to songs that we didn't understand the language.
Yeah.
Wuli and co.
True.
You know, so the language can make it. Even
Yeah.
Ekueme, okay, that one they brought it in English, so we understood it. The language can get it, but I'm saying that the chances of the language getting it,
It's a bit dicey, okay.
The language can get it. That's a great video. I think the video is over 1 million views.
Yeah.
On it.
Yeah.
That's a great video. I need to look at the analytics if it's not Ghanaians who are watching over
Yeah.
and make a better decision. But I'm saying that for going forward, when you're doing gospel songs,
We have
the
to.
Nigerians taught us wisely.
True.
That is why you see how people doing it now, and it's working for them too. So, like Adom, she will do the tree, then she'll come and give you the essence of
Yeah.
my praise. So, I think she saw Dunsin came to when I saw it. Dunsin could only sing that
Yeah.
part. But he took it away, and I think I saw Dunsin's live worship, and he just sang that part because he couldn't sing the rest. You know, and you listen to her meditations. She has the tree, she has the English. Wasem, she has the tree, she has the English. You understand? And it sparks you that as a musician, you need to sit down and look at how people ahead of you do their tactics.
Yeah.
Then J-Loops, that means that it's going to change our sound.
Exactly.
Because now we want to get onto the
international
back then, Professor Abraham, there was no international.
No.
So now, as we're trying to get the appeal from the international, it means that now our song is going to change. Every 2 years, 3 years, we have to sound different. Finally, your take on this as a music director to music directors out there, so that we don't, in as much as we want to go international, we'll still stay original.
Well, I think it still can work because I'll take a typical South African song. I was following Joyous. I didn't know jack about any of the lyrics, but they had very catchy melodies. And that made it for us. We have a fan base in Ghana that is joyous by us, like any song that comes out, because they try to incorporate. So I think we should start from even the composition stage.
Yeah.
The melody. How is it going to sound? Because you can't just put anything out there.
True.
You have to go back to someone who understands, who can manipulate melodies to sound very good to the ear. Lyric-wise, I always say, if you are inspired to do local, just do it. You might be favored to blow.
The word is mine.
Yes, but I've seen so many people to do just that. So I always try to leave the God element for that part as well too. But you still have to be strategic, like what we're saying. We worked on Geometro's Bononi. Funny enough, the songs we even chose to do well on that album didn't do well. Yes, we had English songs. Ntokozo even sang on one. Can you imagine? Yes, so it's probably not our ways. Anything can just happen on. But of course, you should know the market, try to fit in the market, and still go on with what God wants you to do.
Because there's even on radio, so you don't hear the reggae.
Right.
No. Lots of them are yelling.
But then over the years, producers have done their part, changing from high life, R&B, reggae. Do you think that producers have been appreciated enough?
No. A big no. Listen.
This is a 2-hour discussion.
That is not what this stage.
I wish you guys know what goes behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, to even create that sound, you guys just dance to, like, it's a lot of work, a lot of deliberation, a lot of, this is not working here, let's put this here. And it comes out, and of course, only one figure is appreciated. It's a little bit some way.
And you don't sign split sheets too.
But now we are learning to.
No, they don't sign split sheets. Actually, when was the last time you signed a split sheet?
Have you ever signed this?
Why would you read?
We need to do this.
It's a 2-hour discussion.
We need to do this again. I think next week we've got to come back and talk about. This bit's about.
This part my heart is in because.
But you are not the only person. We've had DJs here talk about how they are also not being appreciated, even though we see them as an important role in making a song a success. So it's understandable.
Well, let's wrap it up. Right. Red Music, tell us about your project, the plan for it, and it's a good one though. I love the colors and the sound.
Thank you. So three tracks out so far of the album. Hopefully, I don't know when the album will be out, but then we are just hoping to finish everything up. Like Dave said, there are lots of things happening in the background. So we are just praying for the best. And so Yahweh is out, and I'll just encourage everyone to support. My big bosses are here, so I'll also see them after.
Is there like a plan? Do you have a plan like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm releasing this, I've got this person who pushed me here?
Most definitely.
Okay.
So this project was recorded in 2020, my final year in uni. Okay. So that's what a lot of people don't know. I wrote this song about 6 years ago, which means that I'm looking at, like you said, there's a plan, there's a grand plan. I just don't put anything out there. You understand? So we are just praying and hoping. Hopefully there will be another song early quarter of next year.
All right, thank you so much. It's been a very wonderful discussion. Next week Tuesday, I'm sure we could do this again. Many thanks to Nino, he's a music promoter, he's a TV presenter, he's everything. GH Music, Bright Music is a gospel artist, and Dave J. Loops is a producer, music a consultant, real estate, everything. Yeah. My name is Desmond Okrekuda, so you can call me Desifadian the Starboy, and I was here with.
And I had Tanoboache.
And also
Helen Anyowejan, you can call me Helen K. Special good afternoon going out to Ofasim from all of us here.
Big shouts to you, and also
and
to Joseph.
After this conversation, I'll talk to Nino.
Joseph Adivandi, happy birthday to you from Elvis. He says he loves you. Up next is Newsflash. Keep your dial right here on Metro Television. We're back tomorrow, same time, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Have a great day. Bye-bye.